at all of the changes at the same time. Great. So we start off with the apartments. Oh, apartments, arena. This is what arena looked like before. Now it has these walls with sponsors on them, making it harder to spot people. That's one. Fortuna used to have all windows accessible, as you can see. Now, a lot of them has been blocked off, so you cannot look out through them on both sides of the building. Down here, you cannot even go out on the balcony. Same thing here and here. Casino, this is what it used to look like before. Upstairs, you know. Now, it looks like this. They've added more vault thingies, so it makes it more difficult to get a proper look through, I guess you can say. The concrete buildings used to have just 2 barrels inside. Now they have big boxes. You can see here, this is what it used to look like. Now it looks like this. So you cannot actually look through. Like from in here, you used to be able to look outside. You can't do that anymore. Now this blocks off all the vision from inside. Then we hop to the churches, not too much, less benches and stuff. And they have added boxes in the middle instead of a fountain. But as you can see, not the biggest change, just some small clutter cleanup. The stables, you used to be able to go all the way through. Now that back door down there is completely closed. You cannot even walk in that door anymore. And also, there has been hay bales added like in the path in the middle, so you have to kind of zigzag through in order to look down in the other end. Then we have the big warehouses, the ones that have this edge. They now look like this. So you have 2 sides where they're completely closed off. You have a lot more crates inside. This is from the another angle. It used to be very, very open. Now, as you can see, much more closed. You can kind of walk up on this little plateau here. Yeah. That's how that looks. The barns with all the hay bales in them and the tractors. This is what they used to look like. They had this roof before, but now that's been completely sealed off. Before you couldn't get up here. Now... Also, there's been more, as you can see, more hay bales added. Now you can get up. This is what it looked like before. There was this roof up here that you couldn't really use for anything. Now you can actually, I would assume, vault up there. It would be very strange if they added all these boxes just for you not to be able to vault up. So I assume that you can vault up on it now. And maybe play from above. And you might even be able to hop up on these hay bale thingies and actually vault up on the roof as well. Then we have the mountainside, and this is the same thing that we were just talking about with church. All these areas where you would normally, slide down, you walk on the side and all of a sudden you start falling for no reason. All those have been replaced with like actual mountain rock thingies, making it more like easier to indicate, okay, if you hop over this edge, you're gonna die. Whereas to here, it could be really hard to differentiate when you're a player of what would be like where can you walk and where would you start sliding. Here it's I would assume a lot easier to tell a difference. Then we have the cave. This is the best view I had of the cave because I couldn't do all of it in photos. I didn't want to do that. But you can kind of see the entrance here. You come in, the entrance on one side, and then you have the little cave area, what it used to look like before. Here's what it looks like now. So you have the cave entrance here, and there's just so much more to it. Big back rooms, you have many kind of exits out into the mountainside, where you can walk in on foot here. Here, there are 3 of them, I believe. Like hidden entrance, they're not really hidden, but like extra entrances to the cave from up on the hillside, from over on the other side towards the road, and one from down towards the compound on the other side as well. So 3 different, you can kind of see it here, up here, and over here. Are 3 different entrance points to the cave other than the 2 main entrances. Then we hop into the 1-story buildings. You know, the ones with like the what do you call it? The closet or the big wardrobe blocking off. That is now removed, so you can walk straight in. You don't have to vault over these things anymore. This is what it looks like from inside. You can see the closet. That was it's behind my webcam. But either way, it's down there, and you had some stuff in the middle. Now that's been completely opened up. But whereas to before you could stand in this end of the building and shoot out in this direction, now that's been that's kind of been sealed off by this. So it's more difficult to get a good angle on the windows from across because you have this blocking off the vision. Then we continue. The compound here, it's the one just north of Picado, just outside Picado on the north side. This compound used to look like this. Now it's going to look like this and have 2 long houses instead of just 1. Before it was very easy when you were up on the hillside, like to southeast of or just east of Picado, to look down and kind of get a good overview. This might block off some of that vision. I'm not quite sure, but we'll see how that's gonna impact things. Then the gas station by El Azahar used to have just one of these ice cream shops or whatever people like to call them, and a little gas tank. Now it has a trailer, one of the Haven trailers, I call them, the trailers that came in with Haven, and 2 garages. So a little bit of a expand on that compound as well. The glass house buildings have a lot of vision here in the like how they are now, but in the remastered, as you can see, a lot of the windows are kind of blinded off, and that goes all. I didn't screenshot all the different rooms, but a lot of the different windows have been blocked off. As you can see here, there were some half cover ones, little cover ones, and for the most part they were pretty open. Now you only get like 2 or 3 visible, like open window sides in each building. In San Martin, the old yellow apartment buildings have been swapped out with the Fortuna buildings. It's not the biggest change. As a matter of fact, I'm actually not sure if they're all that different inside, but at least they look like the Fortuna ones now and are completely red. The fire station buildings, similar to the glass houses, the brick buildings here. Hey Neo, thank you so much for the raid. Similar to the glass houses, the brick buildings here, look at this. All the windows have been blinded off. I believe this window, you can't really see it in the photo, but I believe the window over here is actually visible. Like you can shoot out through this one. But other than that, the entire corner is completely blocked off. That's going to make it incredibly hard for you get info outside as a player, but also for people to like get info inside and throw nades inside and whatnot. Then we have the junkyard area. This is what it used to look like before, with tires and cars and everything all over the place. Now it looks like this. So they have added one of those. Yep, you can see it here actually. The window. They have added one of these brick buildings instead, or firehouses, whatever you want to call it. Other than that, a few cars have been removed down here. You can kind of see, but other than that, it's pretty similar. Then we hop down to trailer park. This is what it used to look like before. As you can see, they didn't actually have trailers. They had all the camping carts, but they didn't actually have the proper trailers. Now they have the big trailers inside here. And the automobiles or mobile homes or whatever you want to call them. They're still the same, but up here, more of the trailer stuff. I don't actually know if this increases the loot overall or no, because obviously I don't think there's any loot spots in this, but there's obviously going to be inside these houses. So let's hop on further down. The top floor in these buildings, we don't really have a specific name for this type of building, but the top floors here now looks like this. So you remember before when you came in, you kind of had to run around the sofa here. Now you can pretty much walk straight in. It's been more opened up that way, if that makes sense. Then we continue down to just south of Minas. You can see Minas up here. Now there are trailers added, 4 of them. And they have removed the blue house up in the compound up here, as you can see. The blue house was here before. Now that's been removed. Have they also removed a? No, it's still there. Okay, so they've removed the blue house and added 4 trailers instead, which is going to be kind of interesting because this trailer is actually hidden behind this hill. So maybe people will play late game for cover in that position. We'll see. Then we have La Cobraria, the wall that was from here and over here, and then from here and down here, has now been removed, opening this completely up. So late game around La Cobraria is going to be completely different. You used to always be able to crash down and play behind the wall and try and wrap in. That used to be the end game spot for so many games. That's not going to be the case anymore because now that's just completely open. So either as a player you have to stay on this side or you have to actually commit into the city. So no one's going to be sitting on those walls anymore. That's been completely opened up. That's going to make La Cobraria endings completely change. Like that's going to change them a lot. Then we continue on the east side of La Cobraria. You have the big, like the big apartment building, whatever you want to call it. That's now been changed to 2 smaller houses. Not the biggest change, but mention worthy nonetheless. There are now 2 smaller houses instead. And then when you go down to the south side, this is Val del Mar over here. Over on the side, you used to have this glass house and this compound. And then on the other side, you had like just small houses. Now this is 3 trailers instead. And on the other side, you can see there are 3 trailers there instead. So the compound that used to be here has kind of been extended a little bit further down. It used to be up there. Now it's kind of going further down in this direction. And same thing on this side. Church used to look like this. You used to be able to send your cars full speed up the hill and kind of fly in and crash the compound. You used to also be able to run up, I believe. In some spots, you could run up the hill as well. Now, that's not possible anymore. As you can see, if you want to crash church from the north, like from the Picado side, you have to drive up either through there, around, or up the road. But at the same time, it was very easy to sit up here and kind of look down. Now you have to go all the way out here in order to get a look down. And I don't even think, like if you're inside the house, because the rocks are so far out to the side, I don't think you can actually get a line of sight on the road from inside, whereas to before, that was a lot easier. You could see down this hill much easier towards the road than you can now. Now it's a lot more difficult to get a proper line of sight down. So maybe players can play, like if it's a circle that ends up on church, you can play below these rocks now. Whereas if you were sitting here before, it was a lot more easy or difficult to get to. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Could be. Could be. And I believe that's it. Yep. Those are the changes. At least the ones that we've been able to find. Yeah. If you find any more changes, do feel free to let me know. Either on Twitter or here on Twitch, obviously. But yeah, those are the ones that we've been able to find so far after, 2 hours of flying around and looking at different things. Yeah. That's really it.